What is up, Insaners, and welcome to our Game Week 16 team selection video of the Fantasy Premier League 2021-22 season. In this one, we'll talk about our team for the upcoming game week, we'll discuss transfer plans, and we'll end the video with the best captain picks for the week. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well if you like what you see and are new around here. Now, before we get into our team for Game Week 16, let's quickly look at how we did in Game Week 15. So Game Week 15, not a great game week for us, a big red arrow. It saw us dropping from 30k to almost 50k last week. Another week with nothing from our defense, apart from Trent, who got us a clean sheet and 3 bonus points. Blanks all around with Cancelo, James and Alonso not returning or getting attacking returns. Now Alonso was subbed off after picking up an injury, and we hope he should be fine, and that I think needs to be monitored very closely at the moment, but I still think and I still feel that he will play this week. Livramento came on as both Tony and ESR. They didn't play, but he blanked as well, and it was pretty unlucky. Now coming to our midfield, and Salah was the only one to return. He provided the assist for the late Origi goal, which ended up being the winner, guys. Jota missed, he missed some really good chances in the game, and it was another frustrating blank as a Gallagher owner. In attack, another average showing from both Kane and Tony, who didn't turn up as he was tested positive for COVID-19. Guys, here's the big one. Antonio, he finally did get a return and luckily came from the bench for a 5-pointer, so that was a bit lucky. Honestly telling you, it was looking really bad at one moment, and there was some respite with those 7 points coming from the bench. So lots of decisions to be made with regards to Alonso, Gallagher, Emil Smith-Rowe, Kane and Tony, and let's get into it. Now we're playing a 4-4-2 this week at the moment with Ramsdale in goal. Now I'm pretty confident in terms of the clean sheet, because Southampton have looked a bit inconsistent. We don't really know what to expect from them. They might score, they might not score, but I'm generally confident that Ramsdale could still get some safe points this week. Overall, I think I'm pretty okay with that, and let's move on to our defense. Now in the defense, we have 4 defenders playing this week. First defender is Trent. He's playing against Villa, who have looked pretty solid all around. I think it's going to be a tricky week for Liverpool, and there are high chances that they might not keep a clean sheet in this one. Now, of course, we also depend on Trent for the attacking returns. I think he's miles ahead still of anyone in terms of expected goal involvements, crosses on the box, and all the other attacking stats for defenders. He's a decent differential captain too if you don't want to go for the plain boring Salah move. Now, talking about some of our other defenders, we have James. Now, this is a tricky one, guys. He might get rested after playing the Champions League game midweek. That is a possibility. Yes, that's very, very true. Now, his numbers have been okay. He's shooting a lot. And especially now with Lukaku coming back, I think he could get more FPL points. Now, of course, he can get an early sub or maybe even rested for this game. I think that is a bit tricky. But I think this particular week, we have the bench to cover him off. Now, third defender is the Chelsea double up in Alonso. Not 100% convinced with the Alonso pick here. He picked up an injury, but he trained midweek. And I think he should start against Leeds, who won't be having Phillips and Bamford. I think Bamford is pretty much out, and that really blunts the Leeds attack. Now on the other hand, Chelsea's defense has also not looked that great. They have looked a bit dodgy. They struggled against Watford, West Ham and even in the Champions League game, so it could be a tricky game. Coming to Alonso, and he's not looked that sharp. Yes, he did miss a fair few games, and I think he might take some time to get back into rhythm. Because at least for this week, he's a hold, as we have other fires to put out. But in case if your team is absolutely fine, which is a rare possibility, I think you can move him out for some other player. Our fourth defender is Cancelo. Now he's the best City defender to own, absolutely for sure. Now Wolves have looked pretty confident at the back, but I think City has too much quality. Also like James, he could get rotated, but hopefully he plays this game, and I think we will consider ourselves very lucky if he plays the entire one. Yes, he has the best attacking stats after the likes of Trent and James in terms of defenders. I think he's kind of a must-have when you talk about City defenders. Overall, I think it looks like a solid back four. Not very confident in terms of the Alonso pick, but I think in general, it should be a decent week. Yes, I know the fixtures are a bit tricky, but all these players, all these teams have the capabilities to keep a clean sheet. And guys, these players, they definitely do have the attacking potential and they can give us attacking returns. Now, in terms of a midfield, of course, we start with Salah. He's essential. He's the highest scoring player by a distance. He's the best player in the league right now. Guys, it's only blanked in one game all season, and I think that game was against Burnley. So you have to be sure that he will return in spite of a tricky fixture. Yes, he will be up against a Villa defense who could make life difficult for him, but he's in such great form, right? I don't think so Salah as a pick has any doubts, but captaincy this week, it might be a bit more open. Having said that, he's still our captain for the week, and I don't think so we can take chances there. Our second midfielder is Jota. That's a Liverpool double up in attack. Now, at the time of recording this video, I'm still not sure about Firmino's return date, and I really think Jota plays even if the Brazilian returns. My only issue with him is that he wasn't pictured in Liverpool's last training session, and he might be carrying a knock. Now, there's nothing official yet, so don't panic just yet. Let's just hope that he's fine. Now, in any case, we will be doing some shuffling, and I really hope we can cover him off from our bench. If he's fine, he's almost essential to have in that strong Liverpool attack. Yes, he did miss a great chance against Wolves, but I think that is what you're going to get from Jota every week. He's very much capable of converting tough chances and then miss the easy ones. Our third midfielder is Gallagher. Now, he kind of fades away when Milivojevic plays. His chance creation numbers are generally high when he's on set pieces, but lately he's been playing a little deeper in the Palace attack. I think that's a bit worrying. Yes, we've still seen that he can score goals, he can make those runs in the box. He's still a decent option at that price. I don't think so he's a priority sell at the moment. My only worry is that he's playing against a much improved Everton team, and it could be a tricky game for him. Let's hope that he doesn't drop too much. We'll see what to do with him in the coming weeks, but I think for right now he stays. Our fourth midfielder is Emil Smith Rowe. Now, there are question marks about his fitness. I think he suffered a groin injury, so chances are that he might not feature. Based on what transfers we make, I think we can still leave him on the bench. But one thing is for sure, guys. Arsenal look like a better team, a lot better, when he's playing in the team. They missed him against Everton, and if there's a slight chance, even a slight chance that he's fit, I'm pretty sure that Arteta is going to play him in this one. Now up top, we have Harry Kane, who was scheduled to play Brighton, but now the game has been officially called off because of the COVID outbreak at Spurs. Now this seems like a forced move in our team, but to be honest, the Kane move did really hurt us as he has not done anything at all for all the games that we've had him for. So in hindsight, looks like the right player to replace this week, and we have got options which we'll just talk about in a minute. Our next striker is Antonio against Burnley. Now we've kept faith in him for all those tough fixtures. West Ham's attacking stats, they dropped considerably during this time, but now fixtures are looking better and it makes sense to play him for the upcoming run. On our bench, guys, we have Tony from Brentford. He's out with COVID. He's definitely out this week because of testing positive for COVID-19, and that's another forced move maybe this week. Nevertheless, the plan was always to remove him for one of the Watford strikers, so I think it looks okay. Our other bench players are Gilmour and Livramento, so yes, we have cover as I think both should play, but both have tough fixtures this week and we need to make a few changes. Now coming to our transfer plans, in isolation the team again, it could have been okay if the Tottenham game wasn't postponed and Tony was okay, but FPL is all about reacting and we have a few ideas in mind. The obvious move this week is to take out Kane as he's quite expensive to be sitting on our bench. So mostly, we will be getting Ronaldo in place of him. Now Ronaldo is playing Norwich this week and he has a chance to improve his goal tally this game week for sure. I really think this could be a good week to go for him, and I can honestly say that I'm not hopeful of Gibson or Hanley's chances against one of the best attacking players in the league. I think United in general are looking a lot better. They look like a team with a plan and a system in place, and Ranieri could do wonders in the longer run. A lot of people have doubts about Ronaldo, that he's not been able to press enough or that his place might not be as nailed as everyone's thinking, but with the rest midweek, I think he definitely starts this one and is also a great differential captaincy option. Guys, his past data, especially for Juventus, it also suggests that he might be able to play most of the upcoming game weeks in the busy winter schedule. Plus, we know that he's a flat track bully and he loves playing and scoring against a slightly weaker teams. I think this transfer looks pretty good for me. Now the other transfer move, it could be getting rid of Tony, who will miss games, at least one for sure, and getting in King from Watford looks like the right move. Yes, we will be taking a hit for this particular transfer, but I think in the longer run, this makes a lot of sense. Now both Watford forwards, Dennis and King, they are good buys for the medium long term. Now Dennis has been better in terms of returns recently, but King has better underlying stats. Talking about Dennis again, he's not that cheap anymore and he could leave for AFCON. So I think King on the other hand, he looks a lot more nailed in the Watford attack and he's on penalties, so a more long-term option than Dennis in my opinion. Of course, money is not a real problem right now for our team and we won't want to have a future transfer on the Watford attacker. So for all these reasons, I think King looks like the way to go for our team. Now just some other transfer thoughts, and we would have loved to get in one of Bernardo or Bowen this week, but guys, our attack, it clearly needs sorting out. I think if you can afford those moves, one of Bernardo or Bowen, I think they should be prioritized. But we had a lot of troubles to kind of go through, and that is why we are not going through that route for this particular week. Hopefully in the coming weeks, we are able to get at least one of those midfielders, but for now, this is what we're planning to do. So guys, these were our moves for game week 16. What moves are you planning for game week 16? Do let me know in the comments below. Great, now let's talk about captaincy. Coming to captaincy, and it's always the same discussion, we have Mo Salah, who's again going to be one of the most popular captains, but I'm not sure it is a pretty straightforward week with him being the standout pick. Yes, he's the best attacking player in the league by a distance. Yes, he will also be having higher effective ownership, and if he scores and if he does really well, he's definitely going to hurt your rank. In general, I think he's in really good form at the moment. He also scored in the Champions League game midweek, so I think betting against Salah is going to be a risky game. He's definitely the safest option in spite of facing a tricky opposition in Villa this week. Now, if you don't want to go Salah, if you really want to differentiate, I think Cristiano Ronaldo could also be a great differential captaincy option this week. He's clearly looking like United's main man under Rangnick's new system. Now, Norwich over the season are still one of the worst teams for expected goals conceded, in spite of the slight improvements that Dean Smith has got into them. As I already mentioned, Ronaldo loves playing against these slightly weaker oppositions, and I think there could be a brace, maybe even a hat-trick for Ronaldo in this week. So overall, I think he's a great alternative to Salah, and he would be captained by a fair few managers looking to go a bit differential this week. Our third option is Bernardo Silva. He's playing Wolves. Again, he's clearly in the form of his life. He can score against any team right now. Pep has been very positive about him in his press conferences, and I think if you want to bet on one City player, on one City midfielder, he's the one to go for. I also feel that he should get majority minutes in spite of the Pep roulette. I think the form really speaks for itself, and I don't think so that Pep can afford to bench him. So overall, I think it might be worth captaining him. Yes, it's super risky, but in case you don't own Ronaldo and you don't want to go for a Salah, I think you can still go for Bernardo Silva, who is risky but who could be really rewarding. Our alternate differential picks include Mason Mount, who has looked in decent touch in the last couple of games for Chelsea. Now his returns could get affected with Lukaku and Werner returning, but I think he still looks like a decent pick. He's probably one of the best Chelsea attackers at the moment, and if you really want to target form, I think Mount could be a great differential. Now you can also captain Mikel Antonio from West Ham, who's expected to have better returns in this easier run of fixtures, starting with Burnley this week. Overall, I feel he should play a lot more direct and central, and he could be back among the goals this week. Now let's assume that you don't want to go for any of the mentioned options. You can also captain Dennis from Watford, who's another informed pick at the moment. Yes, he's overperforming his attacking stats, but the way Watford are playing right now, I can see goals in them for the upcoming game weeks. So guys, these were our captain picks for game week 16. Who are you captaining for this game week? Do let me know in the comments below. So that'll be all from my side, guys. I really hope you'll find this video helpful in setting up your teams for game week 16. Now make sure you hit the like button if you liked our team selection video. Please consider subscribing to the channel as well if you want to follow our team throughout the season. So guys, we'll be back for the deadline stream. Do join us if you have any last minute questions or transfer queries. All the best to all FPL managers. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you Insaners next time.